Ever heard of Denmark's second city stealing the cultural crown from Copenhagen? In this video, I'm about to reveal why Aarhus, not just tiny Copenhagen, is the beating heart of Danish culture. You'll soon learn how a Viking-era port transformed into a design capital, boasts Michelin star chefs, and even outshines bigger cities in festivals and museums, without overwhelming crowds. Sustainability and green energy. Viking heritage. Welfare system. New Nordic food. Welcome to Denmark Explained, your front row seat to the hidden gems, quirky traditions, and powerful stories that make Danish culture truly unforgettable. Let's take a step back in time, long before modern Denmark was even a country, when this city began its journey around the year 750. It started as a small Viking settlement strategically located where a river meets the sea. This spot wasn't chosen by accident. It offered both protection and opportunity, a safe harbor for trading ships and fertile land for farming. From here, trade routes stretched across the North Sea and beyond, connecting the settlement to a growing network of markets and cultures. Over the centuries, this modest port began to flourish. By the Middle Ages, it had grown into a bustling market town. Ships brought goods from faraway places, and local craftsmen sold their wares. The city's layout still reflects some of this history, with narrow streets that trace patterns from hundreds of years ago. A defining moment came in 1909, when the city hosted the National Exhibition, an enormous cultural event that brought together over 1,800 works of art and craftsmanship. More than 650,000 visitors came from across the country to experience it. For a city of its size, that was nothing short of remarkable. The exhibition wasn't just a show of creativity. It was a declaration that this place had ambitions far beyond being just a provincial port. Today, this legacy lives on through world-class museums and cultural institutions. One of the most famous is an art museum that stands among the largest in Northern Europe. Its striking modern design draws visitors before they've even stepped inside, but the real treasure is in its collection, thousands of works spanning centuries, from classical paintings to cutting-edge contemporary installations. In 2023 alone, it welcomed over 600,000 visitors, making it one of the most popular art destinations in the country. Another highlight is the open-air museum that recreates life from past centuries. Walking through its streets feels like stepping into a time machine. There are houses, shops, and workshops exactly as they would have appeared hundreds of years ago. It's not just about looking, it's about experiencing. Smelling the wood smoke from the baker's oven, hearing the hammer of the blacksmith, and seeing the craftsmanship that shaped everyday life. For history enthusiasts, there's also a remarkable archaeological museum that blends cutting-edge architecture with some of the most important finds from the region. One of its most famous exhibits is a perfectly preserved human body from the Iron Age, found in a peat bog. Alongside Viking weapons, jewelry, and everyday tools, it gives visitors a direct connection to the people who lived here long before the modern city existed. Beneath the city streets, a smaller museum reveals the original Viking settlement itself. Excavations uncovered houses, streets, and artifacts from the earliest days of the community. Standing there, in the space where Vikings once traded goods and told stories by the fire, it's easy to see how deep the roots of this place go. But the cultural renaissance of the city isn't just about preserving the past, it's about using history as a foundation for something new. Over the last few decades, there has been a deliberate effort to invest in the arts, architecture, and public spaces. Former industrial areas along the waterfront have been transformed into vibrant neighborhoods with galleries, performance spaces, and modern apartments. This blending of the old and the new has become a hallmark of the city's identity. It's also a city that believes culture should be accessible to everyone. Public art installations are scattered throughout its streets and parks. Sculptures, murals, and interactive displays aren't hidden away in galleries, they're part of daily life. Whether you're a local on your way to work or a traveler exploring for the first time, you're constantly reminded that creativity is valued here. All of these elements, the deep Viking roots, the historic exhibitions, the world-class museums, the preservation of everyday life from centuries ago, and the modern investment in public spaces, come together to form a city that wears its history proudly while constantly looking forward. This is the foundation that makes it a cultural capital today. And in the next chapter, we'll see how a single year in recent history propelled it to global recognition and transformed the way the world sees it. Stick around, I'll reveal how Aarhus accelerated its cultural rise in the modern era. But first, let's explore its global moment. In 2017, the city took center stage on the European cultural map when it was named the European Capital of Culture, sharing the title with a city in Cyprus. This wasn't just a ceremonial honor, it was a year-long showcase of creativity, innovation, and community spirit. The recognition came after years of planning, fundraising, and collaboration between cultural institutions, businesses, and residents. The results were nothing short of transformative. More than 12,000 events took place throughout the year, ranging from art installations and concerts to street performances and interactive workshops. These events were built around three themes: rethinking the city, rethinking values, and rethinking creativity. Each theme encouraged both artists and audiences to explore new perspectives, challenge old habits, and imagine fresh possibilities for urban life. The numbers tell an impressive story. Visitor numbers soared, with over 11 million overnight stays recorded, an all-time high for the region. The local economy benefited enormously, with an estimated €159 million in additional turnover. Nearly 2,000 jobs were created, many in creative industries, hospitality, and event management. The cultural program attracted artists from more than 50 countries, giving it a truly international feel. But the impact wasn't just economic. Thousands of volunteers, over 4,000 in total, offered their time as guides, event hosts, and behind-the-scenes organizers. This kind of local involvement created a sense of pride and ownership that went far beyond the events themselves. Residents weren't just spectators, they were part of the performance. One of the most striking aspects of the 2017 program was how it used the city as a stage. Cultural events spilled out of traditional venues into streets, parks, rooftops, and waterfront spaces. Public buildings were transformed into theaters, and industrial warehouses became pop-up galleries. It was as if the whole city had agreed to become one giant cultural playground for a year. The legacy of that year is still visible today. Many of the temporary installations and performance spaces inspired permanent changes. Formerly overlooked neighborhoods gained new life as creative hubs. International partnerships formed during the program continued to bring in artists and cultural exchanges. Surveys taken after the event showed that over 90% of residents believed it had a lasting positive impact on the city's cultural life. For travelers and people considering a move, 2017 served as a bold invitation. Here is a city that values culture not as an afterthought, but as a driving force for growth, identity, and connection. And while the official title was only for 1 year, the mindset it created has stayed firmly in place. In the next chapter, we'll see how the city's festivals and music scene keep that same energy alive, not just during a special year, but all year round. First, here's a thought. Aarhus's cultural boom stems from two key drivers: its rich historic roots or its bold investments in innovation and modern culture. Which do you think played the bigger role? History or modern reinvention? Drop your pick in the comments. Planning a trip to Denmark? Or maybe you're moving there soon? Don't just Google your way through it. Let DenmarkExplained.com be your shortcut to a smoother, smarter, and way more fun experience. At DenmarkExplained.com/products, you'll find itineraries, ready-made plans that turn confusion into unforgettable days. eBooks, packed with local insights, cultural tips, and everyday know-how. No boring history lessons, just stuff that actually helps. Expat guides, moving to Denmark? Get the info you wish someone told you before you landed. Everything's digital, everything's simple, and everything's designed to make Denmark feel less confusing, and way more cozy. So skip the stress, and get the guides that explain Denmark, clearly, cleverly, and in plain English. Check it out now at DenmarkExplained.com/products. Your trip, our tips, let's make it amazing. If this surprises you, hit like, subscribe, and comment your choice now. Sharing keeps the conversation going. Now, let me take you through Aarhus's beating cultural heart, its festivals and music. Culture in this city isn't limited to museums and galleries, it's alive in the streets, parks, and open-air venues. Every year, the city hosts a series of festivals that draw crowds from across the country and beyond. These aren't just entertainment events, they're a celebration of creativity in all its forms. The biggest is the annual City Festival held at the end of summer. It runs for 10 days and features around 1,000 events covering music, theater, dance, visual art, food, and architecture. The variety is astonishing. One night you might be watching an outdoor opera performance, and the next you're exploring a pop-up street art installation or trying food from an international chef. Over 500,000 people attend each year, making it one of the largest cultural gatherings in Northern Europe. For jazz lovers, the city offers a summer festival dedicated entirely to the genre. Over the course of 8 days, there are more than 300 concerts in cafes, clubs, and outdoor stages. Many of these performances are free, creating an atmosphere where music spills into the streets. This festival has been recognized by a European cultural organization for its excellence and accessibility. Another major player is the Northside Festival, a 3-day event that focuses on modern and alternative music. With daily attendance reaching up to 40,000 people, it has quickly become one of Denmark's most talked about music events. What makes Northside unique is its commitment to sustainability. It was the first major Danish festival to run entirely on green electricity, and it promotes eco-friendly practices across the event. The festival season creates a rhythm for the city. As one event wraps up, another is already being planned. This constant flow of activity attracts not only visitors but also a steady stream of artists and performers who find inspiration in the city's openness to experimentation. The result is a place where culture is always in motion, never static, always evolving. These festivals also play an important role in the local economy, generating millions of euros each year through tourism, hospitality, and creative industries. More importantly, they strengthen the city's identity as a place where everyone, from lifelong residents to first-time visitors, can take part in something special. And yet, there's more to the city's charm than large-scale events. In the next chapter, we'll look at the design, youth culture, and everyday atmosphere that make it a truly modern cultural capital. Wait till we explore Aarhus's design and architectural brilliance, but first, let's celebrate its youthful energy and local charm. Part of what makes this city such a cultural powerhouse is its personality, a blend of youthful energy, cutting-edge design, and a welcoming atmosphere. It's often called the City of Smiles, and the nickname fits. People here are friendly, approachable, and proud of their hometown. The city is home to Scandinavia's largest university, with over 38,000 students from more than 120 countries. This young population keeps the city dynamic, fueling demand for music, nightlife, cafes, and cultural events. The average age here is lower than in most other parts of the country, giving it a fresh and forward-thinking vibe. Architecturally, the city is a mix of historic charm and modern innovation. One of its most impressive public buildings is a massive waterfront library and cultural center that opened in 2015. Spanning 28,000 square meters, it welcomes over 1 million visitors a year and serves as both a knowledge hub and a social gathering place. Nearby, the harbor area has been transformed from an industrial dock into a vibrant neighborhood with striking buildings, green spaces, and public art. The Iceberg Complex, with its jagged, glacier-like design, has won international awards for its architecture. These developments have reconnected the city to its waterfront, creating spaces that are as enjoyable for walking and cycling as they are for living and working. The city's food scene is equally impressive. It has several Michelin-starred restaurants and was named the European Region of Gastronomy in 2017. Chefs here focus on fresh, locally sourced ingredients and creative combinations that reflect both tradition and innovation. Whether it's fine dining or a casual street food market, the emphasis is on quality and sustainability. Public art is another part of daily life. Over 200 sculptures, murals, and interactive installations can be found throughout the city, turning ordinary walks into cultural experiences. The local government and private organizations actively support these projects, ensuring that art is accessible to everyone, not just those who visit museums. Cycling is a way of life here, supported by more than 250 kilometers of dedicated bike lanes. This not only makes the city environmentally friendly but also keeps it connected and accessible. Visitors often remark on how easy it is to explore without a car, an important factor for both quality of life and tourism. It's this combination of youth, design excellence, culinary innovation, and everyday accessibility that makes the city's cultural identity so strong. And while its history and festivals are impressive, it's the feeling you get while simply walking its streets, passing cafes buzzing with conversation, art tucked into unexpected corners, and people of all ages enjoying public spaces, that truly earns it the title of cultural capital. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Click on the playlist to your right to explore more Danish gems like Aarhus, the cultural capital of cool.